Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A 1, a 2, a 3. Theory.
Wait, did you say 3 or theory?
Theory. You know, like the name of the show.
That isn't an answer to my question.
Neither was 3. I just bit the darn thing. Go find Mr. Owl.
Matpat Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
It depends. What's the pH of your saliva? What's the temperature of the room? What's the coefficient of friction against your tongue? Air pressure could come into play. Do you have a barometer on you?
You know what? Never mind.
Okay, so I have a colleague of mine with access to a mass spectrometer. Prepare a sample for analysis, would you? Oh, this could take all weekend.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the show that scientifically satisfies your sweet tooth with the sweet, sweet truth. You know, as I've grown older, I've seen a lot of things change, most of them for the better, but at the risk of sounding like a crotchety old grumpy pat over here, I can say with confidence there is one thing from my childhood that will never, ever be improved upon, and that is the candy commercial. I mean, just think back to the absolute murderer's row of candy commercials that they had in the late 90s and early 2000s. I'm talking bubble tape.
I can't stand bubble tape.
Timeless reminder that adults just don't get it. I'm talking about the Mentos ad where the guy is going to a job interview and accidentally sits on a wet painted bench, so it's like, oh no, but then he pops himself a Mentos and just frickin' goes with it.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Folks, take me back to a simpler time, a time when all advertisers had to do was stick some cute kids on a brightly colored set and make them list off the candy flavors.
Cherry, grape, strawberry.
I mean, why do you think Cadbury's has been running the exact same Easter TV spot for decades? It's because old candy commercials can't be improved upon, that's why. But the most timeless of all the candy television spots in history, especially here in the United States, has got to be the Tootsie Roll Pop commercial. Here we've got ourselves some dopey, pantsless kid asking various animals how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
The world may never know.
Side note, you probably remember him asking a turtle and an owl in the TV version, but in the full-length commercial, he also asks a cow and a fox.
Why don't you ask Mr. Turtle, for he's been around a lot longer than I. Me, I bite.
Anybody else feeling like they should probably call Chris Hansen after that interaction with the fox? Anyway, what is it about this Tootsie Roll Pop commercial that makes it such a classic? Personally, I think it's because the ad raises more questions than it answers. Why is this human child asking animals questions about candy? Then why do those animals have specific ideas about what other animals would know the answer to this question? Why, and this one can't be stressed enough, why isn't the kid wearing any pants? Perhaps it's better that some things are left unanswered, but not the core question fundamental to this commercial. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? That question, my friends, will be answered today in great detail, because I don't just want to know how many licks it takes, I want to know how I can get to that Tootsie Roll center with the fewest number of licks possible. Oh sure, others have tackled this timeless question, from scientists to fellow YouTubers, but none of them were focused on optimization. Me, I'm here to consume my candy more efficiently than anyone else, because candy is all about having fun, and nothing is more fun than winning. Whew, sorry, gotta catch my breath there real quick. Just having too much fun. Okay, let's begin by asking just straight up, how many licks does it take to get to the center of everyone's favorite hard candy lollipop with a chewy Tootsie Roll center? I actually did a personal tally back when I was like 10, and I came up with the number 314. And I remember specifically that it was 314 licks because those are the digits of pi. Don't look at me like I'm weird. Didn't you spend your childhoods running tests on candy and then memorizing numerical constants to like 100 points after the decimal? Pfft. Well, anyway, if you didn't, I know someone else who did. Fellow YouTuber MrBeast, who also ran a Tootsie Pop test of his own on his channel back in 2016. Oh look, it's little baby Beastie.
It took me 270 licks. I thought it would take like 1,000. Didn't really take that many. Pretty easy, to be honest.
But believe it or not, since the Tootsie Pop commercial first aired in 1970, a whole bunch of people have sought the actual answer to the question. Some of them have taken it real seriously. The University of Wisconsin tackled it with mathematical models and determined a theoretical average of 319.28 licks. Engineers from the University of Michigan created an automated licking machine that averaged out to 411 licks to the center, and engineers at Purdue University made one that averaged 364 licks. Now, call me a purist, but I'm not sure that I love the idea of using an automated licking machine. The sheer fact that something like that exists out there in the universe gives me the heebie-jeebies. But beyond that, consider this. The 3 university studies I mentioned earlier came back with higher numbers than the 2 real human tests performed by MrBeast and I. And sure, I have no doubt that you can use robotics to simulate the force of a human lick with a substance similar to the tongue, but there's just a lot of variables to control for. Saliva, mouth pH, temperature, texture of the human tongue, all of that. And so those are precisely the variables I'm gonna tinker with today in order to get me to the center of a Tootsie Pop in under 270 licks. That's right, internet. I am here today attempting to harness the power of science in order to defeat a 4-year-old MrBeast video. And you know what? I'm not alone. Today I've brought in Team Theorists who will help carry out a series of experiments with me. Say hello, Theorists.
Hello.
Just wondering when we're gonna get paid.
Sorry, I can't really hear you when you all talk over each other like that. Hopefully it was nothing important. Anyway, the first experiment they'll perform is just a straightforward tally of how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. And we're gonna play by MrBeast's rules. For the purposes of our experiment, reaching the center means the Tootsie Roll inside can be seen and tasted. So, ready to do this, Team Theorist?
You bet.
You misplaced my invoice. I can send you another one.
3, 2, 1, get licking. We'll check back with them in a few minutes, but of course, for us theorists, it's not enough just to know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. We also want to know why we get to the center, especially if that info is going to help us get there faster. So let's start with what a Tootsie Pop is made out of: sugar. Sure, there's some palm oil, some citric acid, and whatever the heck soy lecithin is, but by weight, a Tootsie Pop is about 65% sugar. And obviously, one of the best ways to dissolve sugar is with water. And wouldn't you know it, saliva is about 99.5% water. It's like somebody designed Tootsie Pops to be consumed by humans. So let's toss saliva onto the list of things that we'll need to optimize if we're gonna beat MrBeast's Tootsie Pop mark of 270 licks. But how exactly do we optimize for saliva? Well, let's dig into what exactly goes on when sugar dissolves in water, and that requires some understanding of polarity. Remember in science class when you learned that positive poles of magnets attract negative poles and repel other positive poles? Well, molecules of both water and sugar are polar because they contain hydrogen atoms, which are more negative, and oxygen atoms, which are more positive. So when water comes into contact with sugar, in our case the specific sugar of sucrose, the water's polarity is strong enough to pull the sugar molecules apart. In other words, if you submerge a Tootsie Pop in water, it'll eventually dissolve down to the Tootsie Roll center, as long as there's enough water that it doesn't get oversaturated by the sugar, that is. And you see, that's the key there. There must be enough water molecules present in order to pull every sugar molecule apart, because when all the water molecules get paired up with all the sugar molecules, no more dissolving can occur. So what I'm thinking here is the more saliva, the better. Optimizing our saliva means increasing our amount of saliva. So we'll be sure to test that in the next round of experiments. Speaking of experiments, how's experiment number 1 going there, Team Theorist? A lot of brightly colored tongues out there. I like what I'm seeing. Now, before they finish, I want to toss out a couple other items on our experiment wish list. First, heat. You see, heat is commonly used in chemistry to help speed up reactions. In order for reactions to occur, they need energy, and heat oftentimes provides that energy. So I'm curious to see if heat would actually help a Tootsie Pop dissolve faster. Another factor that we should play with here is acidity. Our mouths have a pretty neutral pH range, but acids are known to be effective at dissolving certain substances by injecting positive hydrogen ions into the solution. Ions can disrupt the bonds of the original substance and break it down. So if we're trying to hack how to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop fastest, let's just go ahead and test whether an acidic substance affects the rate at which a Tootsie Pop dissolves. Alright, looks like Team Theorist has all reached the center. We've got 450, 420, lol, and 274. Good job, Amy. Plus my childhood total of 314, added up to find the average, and we get 364.5 licks. Right on target with those research studies that we talked about earlier, but none of us have beaten MrBeast, which means that we've all failed.
Well, you know it's an experiment, so we didn't really fail per se.
Spoken like a true failure there, researcher number 3.
You know I have a name, right?
Now then, if we are gonna beat that MrBeast tally of 270, we need to test whether saliva volume, heat, and pH can get us to the center of a Tootsie Pop in less time. So listen up, Theorist team. Here's the second part of the experiment. We're gonna measure how much time it takes to dissolve a Tootsie Pop in several different liquids. For this experiment, we'll need room temperature water, representing our lots of saliva condition, hot water, representing the temperature condition, and room temperature lemon juice, representing the pH condition. Lemon juice is highly acidic with a pH between 2 and 3, as opposed to our mouth pH, which is a neutral 7 or so. Select your Tootsie Pops. We'll need 4, all with an equal mass. Let's aim for 17 grams.
Got my 4.
Same here.
How about you, number 3? Number 3? And number 3 somehow lost focus on his camera. forget him, he's a straggler. We're better off without him anyway. Start your timers, team, and let's jump ahead 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes in, what are we seeing?
So the one in the hot water seemed to start dissolving immediately, but the ones in the room temperature seem to not be affected as much. Alright, so we have taken out our Tootsie Pops, weighed them, and averaged the results between all of us. We have our hot water Tootsie Pop, which went from about 17 grams to about 5 grams. We have our lemon juice, which went down to about 8. And we have our room temperature water, which went down to about 7 grams.
Interesting, it's not quite exactly what I expected, so what do these results mean for our quest to beat MrBeast? First, it's clear from the data that heat is the biggest variable at play. So in this final round of experiments, I'm gonna let the Theorist team use whatever tactic they'd like to get heat involved. They can turn up the thermostats in their room, they can drink hot water during the experiment, they can even exercise. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna assign exercise to Researcher 3.
Oh, you've gotta be kidding me.
I most certainly am not kidding. Exercise can, in fact, raise your core body temperature by a degree or two. In addition to adding heat, it's also apparent that we need to get these Tootsie Pops into contact with as much saliva as possible. In order to do that, I've instructed the Theorist team to use the full length of their tongues this time. We're looking for some serious stroke length here. That's what I said. Because more saliva should come into contact with more Tootsie Roll Pop this way. Furthermore, some of the Theorist team have been encouraged to chew sugarless gum to help stimulate saliva flow. And lastly, there's the matter of pH. Since our lemon juice glass dissolved more slowly than our control glass of room temperature water, we're just not gonna worry about pH, so that variable's thrown out. So one final time, the Theorist team has been encouraged to change a couple of variables in order to up the heat and increase their saliva. As for me, I'm not just doing a couple, I'm doing them all at once. I have an insatiable urge to be better than MrBeast at least one thing in life, and I will stop at nothing to make sure that this is that thing. That's why I'll be doing it all. I'm raising the room temperature, I'm drinking hot water, I'm chewing sugarless gum, and I'm exercising. And you better believe that I'm going all in on that tongue stroke length. Yeah, I said it. So let's do this thing, Theorist team. Heck, let's bring in the whole Theorist gang for this one. The more the merrier. We're like a little Brady Bunch here. Man, content back in this era was so much simpler. People were delighted by stuff like this. Now it just barely qualifies as a TikTok. Oh hey, researcher number 1 is opting for the shower. Smart, heat, and humidity. Folks, we are pulling out all the stops. With the powers of science on our side, surely at least one of us will be able to beat 270 licks. I just hope it's me, because I'm about to put some very unflattering licking footage out there onto the internet. And besting MrBeast is pretty much the only thing that's gonna make it worth it. All right, final experiment time. 3, 2, 1, go. Yep, that sound was not added in artificially. That was me being bludgeoned to death by my wife using a St. Jude steel coffee mug while I was doing my Tootsie Roll Pop experiment. The things I go through for science. Anyway, enough about my problems. How'd we do, guys? How many people made it to the center in under 270 licks? Good job, guys. Congrats to everyone. Couldn't help but notice that researcher number 3 didn't make the cut. Can't say that I'm surprised. But now the moment we've all been waiting for, the reveal of how many licks it took me to reach the center.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was wondering.
117. That's right, YouTube. I'm Matpat with a lick total of 117, have hereby defeated MrBeast. I am unashamed to announce that I have defeated MrBeast in a contest that he didn't even know that he was a part of. Food theory editors, you know what to do now. Bring on that confetti. Fireworks are in order as well. Heck, go nuts with all the preloaded celebratory animations that you have readily available. Throw on the meme-ish kids cheering sound effect. Ooh, what about the anime wow?
Yes, I feel so powerful.
That was a strange fact. Never saw that one pulled out before. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Matpat, and this has been a theory. A food theory. Thank you so much for supporting this brand new channel, by the way. If you stumbled upon us, it's probably because you already like game theory and or film theory. Well, guess what? Food theory is very much the same show, just tastier. Anyway, poke that subscribe button like the Pillsbury Doughboy that it is. Just boop. So if you want to support what we're doing here, if you're liking these episodes, if you want us to do more of them, hitting that subscribe button tells us, yes, please continue doing wacky science videos related to food. Second most important thing that you can do right now, check out another episode. We uploaded 5 all here on launch day. The one I would point you towards, you know how they say the cake is a lie? Well, the cake mix is actually the thing that's lying to you. If you want to learn more about that one, link is on screen right now. I'll see you over there, friends.